Hi, Diane Evans here with StampinWithDiane.com. If this is your first time joining me, I welcome you. Do make sure that you do subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that bell just down below here. And that way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. So I'm showing off some new stuff from the new annual catalog. And you know what? I'm jumping on the bandwagon because I'm going to show you a coloring technique with our Stampin Blends with their vellum. And I know there's lots of different ones and different ways of doing this. I'm going to show you the way that it works for me. And I had a thought process in my mind, so I wanted to make sure that I went and did something with that. So I'm using the Quiet Metal bundle. This you save 10% when you buy it as a bundle. And trust me, it's a hidden gem. You don't really see too much of it in the annual catalog, but I'm telling you, I can't stop using it. An eclectic stamp set, you just can't go wrong with that. There's so many different elements in there that you can use in different spots. And then the dies. Literally, they are to die for. They have these beautiful sprigs in here. There's labels, there's butterflies, tags. Really, honestly, it is just beautiful. So I'm going to show you this technique. It is using vellum. Stampin' Up has the most amazing vellum. It's a heavyweight cardstock vellum, and by having that type of weight, this technique works very, very well with it. So we're going to be using, like I say, our alcohol Stampin' Blends, but we're also going to be using alcohol. I've got a couple pieces in here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using them, but I just wanted to have some cut out ahead of time on them. So with this vellum, like I say, we're going to just go ahead, and the colors I'm using are Evening Evergreen, and that I'm using the dark one. There's lots of different ones to use. You could use the light depending on the look that you want. I want something that's going to go along with the Evening Evergreen and the Pale Papaya. And then I'm using this Soft Succulent as well. I wanted just a bit of a lighter green in there. And I didn't want to use the Evening Evergreen light. I thought the Succulent would look really, really pretty in there. So all you do is you're just going to do blotches on here. Now, I am using, this is the Pale Papaya, and the Pale Papaya, I'm using the dark one. Now, I want a fair amount of that Pale Papaya because it does get a little washed out when it's with, look at that. We don't want to get that mixed up with those colors. Okay. And then, when I was playing with this, I found that the cinnamon cider worked really well, and it just brought some of these colors more into light. We're not using a whole lot of it, but it's going to help with doing that. Now, what a work of art, right? So now what the key to this is using rubbing alcohol or isopropylene alcohol. 91% or better. 99% works great, but so does this 91. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my rubbing alcohol. I've got it in a little dish here. And I can't wait to show you this fantastic little tool here as well. And you could use your aqua markers. I tend not to want to use my aqua markers when I'm going to be doing something like this. So I'm just going in and I'm just going to do some blotches. And this is actually going to, it spreads. And the way that it spreads is what makes it unique. Like every one of these that you do is going to be different. So I'm just splattering this on. See how beautiful that just looks when it starts spreading. And like I say, you're going to get a bit of a muddy look on some of the colors, but really once you get doing this, you're going to find that it's not going to matter that much. So that's just, I find that so pretty. Now we might want to just get that so we don't have those lines. So let me just go down. That is so pretty. All right, so I'm just going to put the lid back on this. Like I say, this tool is called a Chucky, and I can't wait to show you what you do with it. Very nice, and I consider her a friend. Sent that to me the other day. So in order to speed this up a little bit, I am going to bring in my heat tool. So it's going to be a little noisy. I would prefer not to, because it tends to give running marks with the heat tool. But for this video, we want to get that dry. I might even add some elements to it. I just find it goes a little muddy when it goes over there. But there, isn't that just beautiful? I just find it's one of the most beautiful things. Let's just get that off. You don't want it to be wet anywhere. There we go. I'm going to have to bring that in just a second. But see, we could use that side or we could use this side. I tend to really like the muted side. And this actually is going to fit on here. So I'm going to have to go and I'm going to have to trim that down. So I'm going to trim it down to the this same size, which is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I'm just going to bring in my trimmer. And I'm going to try to cut off these blotchy ends. So it's 3 3/4 by the 5 inches. And I'm going to cut that end off as well. Now we could use this. We could put that on the inside of the card. We could do lots of different things. So maybe we just might do that. But isn't that just beautiful? Now, there's lots of different ways to do this other part. Now, I wanted to use, I could use this side. Do I want to use that side? It's pretty dark. I want more of a muted side. So by doing the muted side, it's like that. Now, what I want to do is I want to use my gilded leafing on this. Now, I struggled with how I was going to get that heat and stick powder. I know there's lots of really neat ways of doing it. Now, what I could do with this stamp set is I could come in with these blotches. Of course, I could do that. I could stamp on it. I could do that as well. But I didn't like the consistency of that. So, you know what? I might just try it with these blotches. No, I'm going to do my original plan. Okay, so I just brought in a block, just a clear block, and I brought in my Versamark and my Versamark refill, and I just put a bit on the block here. And then I took just a paintbrush, and then all I did was I just wanted this rather sporadic. You could do it in circles, you could do it in lines. I just wanted a tiny little bit in different spots. So I just went ahead and I didn't want to follow any of the lines from there. And then it's actually quite moist because it's more concentrated on there. So what I wanted to do too is I come in with my heat and emboss. So when I go and I put that in there, you're going to see that it kind of comes out like this. And now what I want to do is I kind of want to take some of that off. I don't want it to be like bold lines like that. I want it to be kind of more with an artistic type feel to it. So all I'm doing is I'm going to, I should bring this back in my heat and stick pot. And like I say, there's so many different ways that people are doing things out there. And it's really amazing how people have thought of different things to do. I haven't seen anyone do this, but there could be people out there that have. Like I say, I can see it, and I kind of want it just to be not quite like, you know, like lines. And then I'm coming in with my heat gun again. Now, I always heat, when I do heat and stick, I always heat from the bottom up. Because I find that the glue sticks better. Sometimes what happens if you heat directly onto it is, what happens is that it overcooks the heat and stick. So, and also it is vellum. So with vellum can curl quite easily. So, and we don't want that to happen as well. So it looks like I've got quite a bit on there. So I'm going to bring in my gilded leafing. Now, I've always said, put your gilded leafing in a big container and you will have less of a mess. Boy, that sounds kind of poetic, doesn't it? But anyways, I'm just going to put this down here like this. And I'm just going to rub it off. Now, the other thing that you can do is you could take one of your old Stampin' Up sponges and just rub some of that off. And once I do all this other stuff that I'm going to do on this card, you're going to see that this is going to be quite nice how this comes about. All right, so I'm just going to move that out of the way. And I just want to remove some of that extra bits there. So this leafing it's so pretty, but it goes all over the place. Now let's go ahead and let's get that glued. So I'm going to bring in a silicone mat. There we go. And I'm going on the opposite side. So I'm just going to bring in my glue. And I have my dedicated sponges. I think I'll use another one of these. Let's see. Okay. And I'm just going to come here. And we're just going to blob it on here. Normally I would do it in, just line the whole piece. However, you want it to be blobbed and we'll glue it down. Now there's other ways that we could possibly do this as well. You know what? I am going to run it all over it. I don't want it curling. This works great for colored and patterned vellum as well. All right, so let's come down here. And probably I should have done the cutting afterwards. But I'm just going to lay this on here. And if I have to trim this, I will trim it again. It doesn't look too bad. There we go. Now, like I say, I have this Chucky. And I can just rub it down like this. Now, this is a great thing. It's supposed to be used for my Stamparatus, but I also thought it would be great for this. I didn't want to use my bone folder, but because by using my bone folder, I probably was going to end up cutting off some of, or taking off some of this gold leafing. Now, I want to come back in with that trimmer because I think I could trim off a little bit of this as well. I just want it just a smidgen taken off. And we'll just put that there. There's a beautiful stamp set in the new catalog that I can't wait to do this technique with. And yeah, I'm so excited about that one piece. And I think that's it. All right, so now just look at that when that's put onto that piece like so. All right, so let's go ahead and put that on with our seal. And I knew that was going to happen with our seal. Do you see how easy this really is to put together? Yes. Oops. You just squeeze it to put those together. And then, of course, we're going to get it started. We're going to prime it. There we go. There we go. Now, do we want it this way or this way? I think this way is going to be good. Let's just layer that onto there. And then our card base is the beautiful Evening Evergreen. I see that I haven't scored it, so it's 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to go in with my trimmer, and we'll just score it. And then just put that down like that, and let's put that on there like so. And I see I didn't cut a piece for my inside. Go ahead and put that on there. Now, see how beautiful that really is? It's so pretty. Now, I did neglect to put, I want to put this on here, and I want to use the ribbon with it. So I'm going to go onto the back, and I don't know whether or not if I should use the evergreen ribbon behind it. It's kind of where I'm gearing to. Yeah, I think I will. So I'm just going to cut that off. And we're going to be attaching that to the back. Now, the reason I've got this silicone mat here is because I've got it sticky on the back side of this, because I've already gone ahead to do that. So now what we want to do is we want to do a sentiment. So I think we'll take a sentiment here, and we'll go Thinking of You. You can always use a Thinking of You card. It can be used for almost anything, really. Let's see if it's in there, or if it's... I don't know where I put that Thinking of You stamp set. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to do this Thinking of You stamp, and I'm going to use it in the Evening Evergreen. Ooh, we might have to clean that off. Looks like we may have a halo. So we just want to tap lightly. They're new stamp pads, so they have lots and lots of ink on them. So let's see if I can get that in there, the center. Close that before I get it all over the place. Oh, and I did that on the wrong side. Good thing I did it on the wrong side, because I'm not real happy with it, because I don't think that it's very straight. So let me try that again. Going to see if it's not straight. See, that's better. It's funny, I did that on the wrong side, so let's just hope that this is straight now. Oh, and I've got a halo on it. All right. So, I think what I can do is let's go, and we are going to cut out another one of those images. So I'm just going to bring in the little cut and emboss, and we'll take this image out from this hand pen thing, and then we can just put it quickly onto our little cut and emboss. That's the beauty of this little cut and emboss. You can just quickly bring it onto your table, and you can run it through, and you've got your, you've got your die cut. I am giving one of these away this month. I'm giving it away to my customers that place on, they'll put them into a draw. Anyways, let's get there. I've got that cleaned off. A juicy stamp pad. Let's try again. Just a light tap. And let's just do that once more. 3rd time's the charm, right? There we go. All right. This is one of those colors that would take over completely. So that's dead loss. All right, so I want to put that down there. So I think what I'll do is I'll come in with my ribbon. We'll put our ribbon. There's a couple ways you could do this, I guess. I could do it where I had ribbon And I could have the bow going there. You could have it going like this too, but I think I'm just going to bring it around here. That would be kind of nice having it like that. I think I would do it on the opposite side though. Okay, so let's do it. I changed my mind mid thinking. I just changed my mind. So I think what I'll do is I'll have this come like this. I'm going to just cut this off. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to have it come where it's going to be about there. So I'm going to go in with my dimensionals, and let's put some dimensionals on the back of this. We're going to have to put our sprigs down first, but I think this might be the route to go, is go that way and have it go. Geez, that would be pretty just even like that. I think that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to actually have that where it's together and have it sort of flare off. So I'm going to come in with my glue dots. I'm sorry, but I'm sitting there changing everything that I had planned. And I'm just going to put a glue dot there, and that's what's going to keep my ribbon. There we go. Just like that. And I'm going to put it like that. Okay, that's going to work. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to take these sprigs, and these sprigs are lots of fun. Changed up my sprigs a little bit from the last cards I've been doing. I really, really like this one with the flower on the top. So I'll just take those out. And I think I'm going to put that one there. We'll put it on loosely to see how it looks. Normally I would take those out as well. And then let's just do this. There we go. And then I think we'll put another one right there. Yes, that'll be so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to, look at that, we get all stuck on there. I think what I can do is I can also go on here, and let's just put some glue onto the base one. Now we don't want this oozing out, so we could let it dry a little bit. But let's do this. One there. And then I'm going to put this one here as well. And I think I have some little black dimensionals that I think I'm going to use on this one. Now I could actually put that right onto the card base, because now I'm not doing what I originally was going to do with it. Okay, so let's just put some of these on here just to pop this one up a little bit. We're using the black. It's a dark color, so we want to keep that hidden. So I think that's about right. And one more. Let's go like that. And then we can put another one of these right like that. Okay, and I'm going to put some little ones on there as well. Let's see. Okay, and just there. And you know what? I think we'll just use a half of one of those. And we will put that right about there. Because we want some that's loose, we want some that are close together. There we go. Now, don't forget, if you do like this, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, if you have any questions or anything like that, just let me know. So this is going to work. Let's put those out of the way. Now I can attach this to the card base. So let's go ahead and attach that. This is to the Evening Evergreen. Jeez, is that ever pretty? All right, so we're going to put that right there. And now I'm going to put this part here. me just here. And we'll put that right about there. This is going to come across here, and I'm just going to cut that off. Just like that. And like so. And you know, I think too, instead of it flying up like that, I think I can go in also with a glue dot as well. Let me just move this stuff out of the way. So I have one. There we go. So I just take a glue dot, and I think we can just put that right down about there, and then it's going to layer down about there. Now we definitely need some gold on there, right? So I think what we could do is we could put some, oh, maybe let's use these because they're so pretty and they're brand new. So I think I'll use this one of these. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love these. Look at this. I've almost used a whole package of those. I think we can put one there, and we can put one over here as well. There. And then I did have, there we go. I did have a little tiny, let's put that, yep, we're going to just put that little butterfly right there. There, just like that. Wow. So see how pretty that is? It all ties in and everything like that by using those gems, you know. So I hope you like that. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Don't forget to subscribe, like I said, to my YouTube channel. Give me the thumbs up if you have any questions, just ask. Also, if you live in Canada, I'd love to be your demonstrator. But if you have one already, no, I want you to deal with your own demonstrator. That's very, very important to me. But by all means, come back and watch me with different videos and that sort of stuff. I'm thinking this could even go in here, but I think I'm going to have a color to go with that. But I have a very generous reward program. So if you do shop online with me, I have host codes that are available. And if you do shop with me online, I basically, like I say, I give tutorials and I have a very generous host reward program. So I hope you enjoyed that and have a great day. Bye for now.